Thanks for joining us for the conclusion of another highly questionable week. What do you like today, Bomani?
Ichiro basically called us a nation full of haters, and he's not really wrong.
Vamos, papi.
To Patriots reporters, just stop asking questions about the Bill Belichick.
Belichick, he called him. Belichick is the word that he's using there. This is the best possible response you could get from Belichick on anything. Have him get annoyed. He's being asked about Garoppolo and the idea of Tom Brady getting his job back in Week 5, and watch this.
What happens if Jimmy plays better?
Look, I told you what's going to happen.
So there's this.
Jesus Christ.
He mutters under his breath. And really, look at this. This isn't the first time this has happened. This is the best Bill Belichick you're going to get. Remember, 2 years ago, Tom Brady lost 41-14 against Kansas City, and he was asked about his job being safe, and this was Bill Belichick getting annoyed again.
Will the quarterback position be evaluated this week?
I quote him on that. Trying to quote him on that. It's great. That's the best. That's the most personality you're going to get from Belichick.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Belichick's had that job since 2000. In that time period, we have grown comfortable in understanding that he is the epitome of the cold, heartless football coach that will make whatever bottom line decision he feels is the necessary one to make. Now that we get comfortable with this idea, he's mad at us for asking him about it like he's never done such a thing like this before. At the same time, he said it over and over again. Tom Brady will be the starter in Week 5. I believe Tom Brady will be the starter in Week 5. But if Jimmy Garoppolo sets the world on fire and Tom Brady comes back struggling, who's the starter in Week 8? Then we can start doing this again.
It's so much better than his mumbling press conferences, but it ranks a distant second to the best Belichick quote of all time, which is him calling after the Super Bowl. Freddie Mitchell, terrible. Said, quote me on it. He was terrible. We were happy when he was out there. That's the best Belichick quote ever.
Hey, Jimmy, this is what you do if Belichick is not going to give you a job, you know? What you got to do is start throwing interceptions, you know, and bet against those games. And let me know beforehand so I can call Juanito and make my bets then, you know? That's what you got to do.
All right. He just recommended an enormous sports scandal as a way for Jimmy Garoppolo to begin his professional career.
Maybe the worst idea I've ever heard.
Really bad.
Well, it sounds good to me.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, he could make a lot of money that way, yes, and everyone could be jailed.
How should Ryan Fitzpatrick feel about hearing Geno Smith was pissed off when the Jets resigned him?
Yeah, you heard about that. Ryan Fitzpatrick jumped through the door and was like, y'all still gonna give me $12 million right in the nick of time? Well, until that nick of time, Geno Smith is looking around the room like, looks like there's a new sheriff, and damn, Ryan just showed up. And this is how he feels about it.
Were you disappointed?
I mean, you know, I'm not disappointed. I'm kind of pissed off, but not like it's not a detrimental thing. You know, it's not something where I'm pissed off at anyone because we all want to be out there. No matter, you know, there's 53 guys on the team. Every guy doesn't always get to go out there, and we all know that one quarterback gets to go out there on day one. So that just adds fuel to the fire, but not in a negative way. You know, I don't want that to become like a headline or something like that because it's not.
First of all, I know that Geno's the backup right now, but he sounded like the starter with all those cliches he was firing off about this. But I think the great ironic part of this is he said he did not want this to be a headline, and immediately New York media turned it into a headline. Him saying the perfectly reasonable thing. I thought I was getting the job that I lost when somebody sucker punched me, and then this dude comes running in the door at the last minute.
What he said was reasonable. It was honest. It was refreshing. It was rationed out in doses that made him immediately start backtracking as soon as he said and saw the tabloids spinning with the headlines, I'm peed off, because there's no walking that back. Even though he walked it back perfectly reasonably, they don't care about that in New York. He's someone that they can make fun of, and so they do.
Hey, Geno, at least this year is not that bad. At least this year you can talk, you know. You talk very well. Last year you couldn't talk. You were going... You know, this year you're doing good, buddy.
He's not wrong.
Jaw wired shut.
Those NHL commissioner Gary Bettman deserves the beating he's taken over his CTE denials.
To be fair, Gary Bettman's been taking a beating since he took that job. The only time anybody talks about Gary Bettman is when we are here to beat on him for something that he did that we find to be silly. Now, the New York Times got a letter that Gary Bettman sent in reply to a senator when the senator seemed to be asking some questions about CTE and what the NHL is doing about it. Gary Bettman gave you all that talk that you get from the beginning on these things from commissioners. Well, you know, we got to figure out the science. You know, we don't know what is going going on here. Should he take a beating for this? Of course he should. We just don't have a great answer for what we would do as commissioners because this is how they do things.
This is what we would do as commissioner. It's what anybody would do as commissioner. It was what anybody would do if they have a liability issue. You don't come out and admit when you're surrounded by the possibility that yes, the science is absolutely exact and my sport has a concussion problem and is causing brain damage. Why would you admit that? He's doing what he has to do, which is cover for the league, because the commissioner sometimes has to be a piñata in defense of the league.
Now, to be fair, there would be an option of, hey, here are the things we are doing to prevent concussions. They're doing to prevent concussions, therefore making their link to CTE less important because we have less concussions. But no, they ain't working on that yet.
They don't know how to do that.
Can I say something to Gary Bettman on a language he understands?
Yeah.
Boo!
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that.
Boo!
You don't even notice his accent when he does that. Perfect English.
Dosichiro, make a good point about Americans being less supportive as you get closer to the top.
Well, hold on a second. He wasn't talking about all Americans. This was a shot basically at Pete Rose. Pete Rose says that Pete Rose is the real hit king. Ichiro has taken it a while ago that he wanted Ichiro to break the record until he got close to breaking the record, at which time he didn't want him to break the record. And what Ichiro was saying is, when you're at the top, before you feel threatened, you're okay with people breaking your records. Then you feel threatened and you don't want your identity taken away. He was talking to Pete Rose, not the rest of us.
But it fits for the rest of us. Like, I don't know why we're going to act like this is the only person. Pete Rose is the one where this is a situation. This happens all the time. Do you remember when Stephen Curry was in college and LeBron James was his biggest champion? Hey, pay attention to Steph Curry. Pay attention to Steph Curry. You think LeBron's saying anything about pay attention to Steph Curry now that they've approached the same level? No, this is the game. People do all this when there's no threat to what they have. Once you start cutting into their light, people start trying to box out.
Well, you know, Barkley used to like me. Explains why he doesn't like me anymore.
Because you're now threatening his
That's
place
right.
as a preeminent sports analyst.
As an analyst.
It has nothing to do with you giving him the middle finger and Dan sending it to him on text message.
Not a middle finger, both middle
That's
fingers.
for you, Charles.
That was one.
For you.
Half price.
That too.
Okay, there it is. No discount.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to Mark Rick.
And there was a sign that actually said that. Something Beach, the most southern point in the continental United States, and somehow we decided that would look good in our apartment. And
That's a landmark.
We took it.
Joining us at the beach today is Mark Rick.
Throw up the U form. Throw up the U form. It's Coach of Miami now. Throw up the
Yeah.
The U. Throw up the U.
Oh, the U. Yeah.
We just need to go straight to Mark now. That took longer than I expected.
So, Mark, you get to the University of Miami as a quarterback. You imagine you're going to win the Heisman. You imagine you're going to star in the pros, and soon thereafter, you're valeting cars. Correct? Can you take me through? Can you take me through what you were thinking as you were valeting cars?
Well, I was trying to make a living, quite frankly, and then what happened was, when you work at the Boca Raton Hotel and Club, and they have a big shindig, the best way to make money is to run to go get the car instead of wait for the van to go get the car. There may be hundreds of cars. So I was running all the way down as far as I could to get a car and come back. And before you knew it, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm in the best shape of my life. I need to go try out for another pro team. And that's when I tried out for the Miami Dolphins. And that's, of course, when Dan Marino was there after getting cut from Denver with Elway there. So, you know, Jim Kelly kind of ruined my dream at Miami as a Hurricane. So, I don't know. It was rough.
You have a reputation as an honorable man, but as a valet, were you the valet that every now and then, you know where I'm talking about?
Would you reach in and grab it?
I'm talking about taking him around.
Take a little spin.
Yeah.
Take a little spin in that Rolls Royce. Yeah, man, it was fun.
And so now you work in college football. Like, if you think that business was dirty, there's some dirty.
Well, actually, the last job I had before college football was a bartender. And actually, after being a bartender, getting fired from that job, they asked me to clean the bar afterwards. So I was cleaning bars before I took the coaching position at Florida State with Coach Bowden. So that was a pretty neat career path, I would have to say.
Well, how's that work? Where they fire you and then like, yo, would you mind cleaning up on your way out?
That's what he said. Look, I was struggling. It was New Year's Eve, not doing a good job. I was wanting to watch the college football games, quite frankly. And he said, hey, man, get on the other side of the bar, have a beer. watch the games, and when the bar closes, I got a job for you, and that's when I started cleaning the bar afterwards, and that's what I was thinking. Gosh, I certainly could do something besides this. Maybe I'll try coaching.
I've read that you were a bit of a partier as a player. Can you take us through, because nobody knows this side of you. It was a long time ago. Take us through the partying, Mark Richt. What did that look like?
Well, I won't get into it too detailed, but my nickname in the beginning of my career was Boca because I was from Boca Raton. So Boca was my nickname, and it actually over time evolved into Boca Baby, and I won't really get into all the reasons why it was that, but I was probably, I wouldn't say I was the front runner for the Heisman of the night games, but I probably would have been in New York when they handed it out. But you know, we all change and we all grow up.
Yeah, so the people who call you Boca the people who call you Boca are the ones who have the best Mark Richt stories. Then, like anybody who sees
anybody
you,
who
like,
knows me as
Boca.
Boca. Oh yeah, if somebody knows me as Boca, they could tell you. But I could tell stories on them too, so they know it.
But you're reluctant to talk about it, but yet I don't think you see the smile that's creeping on your face as you think about it. Because
there were some fun times. We did stupid stuff. All right, I'm going to admit one. Well, there may be a statute of limitations, but
yes,
one time.
Let's go.
We decide we're going to go to Key West. Well, you would think from Miami to Key West is a short trip, but it's still a pretty long way. Okay, so we're going to get up early one morning and go. Well, we can't sleep. We say, okay, let's just go in the middle of the night. So we drive through the night. We get there. Long story short, we get thrown off the beach. We're trying to sleep on the beach, save money. But in the end, the very last thing we did, we went to the southernmost point of the continental United States of America. And there was a sign that actually said that. Something Beach, the most southern point in the continental United States. And somehow we decided that would look good in our apartment. And
That's a landmark.
We took it, we borrowed it, and we put it on top of our gremlin. We had a gremlin. And we're like, how are we going to tie this down? We said, let's take our shoelaces. So we took our shoelaces, tied it down. It lasted about 30 miles. And then we had to just jam it in the car and take it to the apartment. And we did. We placed it above our couch. And then we used to have room checks. Okay, so here's Howard Schnellenberger coming in to do room check. And he sees this sign. He's like, where in the hell did you get that?
That's a good Schnellenberger impersonation.
Yeah, so anyway, that was just a taste of our stupidity.
Hold on. What'd you tell him?
What did you tell him? Where did you get that?
I don't know, man. We didn't have much of a good answer for him. But I could promise you that sign didn't last another 5 minutes on the wall. We were done with that. So, but it was a memory. It was a good one.
It's now at Schnellenberger's house. He's got it up there. Let's go to a 3-shot over here, real quick.
Well, if you ever have a coaching staff open in your team, there, you know where to get me.
I may do that.
Al Golden sent him a bunch of stuff he's wearing. He hasn't got any free stuff from you yet.
What do you got for him? I need to get him some Adidas.
What do you got?
Some Adidas. That's good. Yeah. Craziest night you had in South Beach when you were the player.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you want to know that?
Yeah.
I never made it that far. I didn't even know South Beach. There was a lot of other places in between that I would stop. I never made it that far.
Boca never got out that far.
I will say this. There's a Miami Marina it used to have the boat races, the cigar boat races there. And we had a couple, they had a hut. It was called the Hut, Cheeky Huts and all that. And we had a couple hut parties that were pretty impressive as well. No details.
We'll let you go on that note before you admit to any other crimes in your past. Good talking to you, Mark. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys. Yeah, I'm going to get indicted now or whatever.
Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Drink one time. Let me smash some one time. Tear the club up one time. Smoke some one time. Drink some one time. Let me smash some one time. Tear the club up one time. One time. My son's TV show is brought to you by Tempur-Pedic. Nothing feels like a Tempur-Pedic. Do you question if Anthony Rizzo should have been ejected?
All right, Cubs, White Sox. They got a fancy name for this, the Crosstown Classic. I mean, I guess it's catchy, right? Anyway, Rizzo's the Diner Navarro who plays for the White Sox. They seem to go at it in this game in various ways. There's Rizzo.
Oh, that's a brawl, Bomani.
Oh.
Except the announcer's laughing.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you this, though, he wouldn't do that to Brian McCann.
Well, the thing about Navarro is you can throw his gloves on the floor and it doesn't matter. He's not going to get to second base any faster. He is not any kind of threat to steal any kind of base. You can take everything he has on him.
That's nothing. I really like to see when the White Sox and the Cubs, they go at it, you know. That's what I like to see.
Oh, when they really go at it, you mean? Oh. Okay. Yes. That's Brzezinski. Oh, touching home plate that way. And then there's that. There is that.
There are a few things that big leaguers of the last 20 years would love to do more than punch Brzezinski in the face.
That might have been the best punch before Odor earlier this year in terms of baseball punches that connect.
Oh, not even the best in that stadium. Mark Whitten, Jack McDowell, 1992, I believe.
I meant since.
Oh, man, he got him, though. Good gracious.
Let's see it.
Yeah, it ain't getting no cleaner than this on a punch. What did Jack McDowell think was going to happen, by the way? Like, as this dude is running up there, why are your arms still by your side?
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And he threw the first punch, too. That makes it worse.
Well, it wasn't really a punch, though. What was that he threw?
A feeble attempt.
Do you question if the organizers really thought anyone could win this $100,000?
All right, we go out to Australia. A tire company is doing a promotion of some sort. You can win $100,000 if you complete what feat?
Oh! Wow.
That tire company is so mad right now.
You know who's even more upset than that tire company? The insurance company that's got to cut the check for that $100,000.
That is, you can't expect to make that. That's crazy. You can't expect to make that if you're 4 feet away trying to throw it in there. That is nuts, man.
Wow. How much practicing did he do for that?
I don't care how much practicing you've done. How did that happen?
But that is not the luckiest big bunny shot we have seen.
It isn't?
No. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this one's pretty good, too. Failure,
There we go.
success!
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like that should count.
Oh, hater.
I know.
What is this, a
I know.
family trait
I know.
that all you guys are
You
haters?
tell me it wouldn't have been less impressive if that guy had kicked it into the tires on a bounce. It would have been less impressive.
Do you question if this kid is cool?
Is this one of these Rubik's Cubes dorks? Remember that? We had the Rubik's Cube kid, and we made him cool.
I'm never comfortable. You call the kids dorks. He calls them nerds. Let's see.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm guessing that he thinks he's cool, right? You don't wear that headband unless you're someone who thinks you're cool,
You
right?
don't get that much practice at that unless your peers have informed you that you are not that cool, thereby giving you all the time in the world to go to the arcade.
Well, those moves, they are not as good as this move.
Oh, yeah, you remember this?
Does he
This
fall,
is dope.
does he fall on his face or what?
Ah! You out here underestimating the skinny man. See, that's the plight of the skinny man. You always getting underestimated.
Wait a minute.
That's
I was
right.
not
That's
underestimating
right. You did
him.
underestimated the skinny man.
No, that is not what happened there. I expect when we go to a video for it to be Spider-Man jumping up and down and being unconscious because he falls on his face. That was not about being skinny, and it wasn't about being white either.
Wait.
It wasn't. I know you didn't say it. I said it.
Time to play the game that live in a constant state of denial. See? Or no?
Tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
On NBA TV, USA versus Venezuela.
Is there a country, Bomani, that you're looking forward to seeing the Americans play against? Because it's not this one. Can we name a Venezuelan player ever in the history of the NBA? Anybody? Anyone? Boppy? No, this is your wheelhouse? Whatever. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I am not intrigued, but we do have one Venezuelan basketball player, Grievous Vasquez, who has said that he's not going to play in the Olympics because he wants to be healthy for next year, which no matter what happened with him sounds like I want to get that Zika.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, I don't care if Vasquez is not playing. I'm telling you something. It's going to be a major upset. Venezuela is going to come through with a bunch of no names. They are going to come through and they're going to show the world that they can beat the USA. You know, a team like Venezuela, nobody knows a player there by name, but I'm putting my money on Venezuela. Ring, ring, ring. Juanito, listen. Yeah, I want to go. I want to place a bet. Put my son's car. He has a Mercedes, very expensive car. Put it on Venezuela. Yeah, put it all in Venezuela. Yeah, I feel good about this bet, Juanito. I feel good. Ay, Juanito. Remember, Mercedes, Venezuela. That rhymes. Yeah.
Don't forget how long it took to win your girlfriend back after you bet her that one time.
Did you just miss that he tried to make Mercedes and Venezuela rhyme?
Wow, that happened?
That just happened.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Gracias. See you el lunes.
Papi, it's the weekend. You going to get drunk?
I already am.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
All right, got the
that's
party.
it.
Yeah, got it. Happy hour started
I'm
early.
ahead of the weekend.
Yeah, there you go. All
That's
right.
the way you play it in South Florida.
Yeah.